What's good, YouTube? Up here in that super not secret top or crappie spot that I never fish except for when I do, and we got about an hour and a half to fish. So let's stop wasting our time yapping at this screen and get down there and get to fishing. Well, we finally got something. Right color, wrong size. I'll tell you what, it's been a couple of days. These fish have gotten significantly cooler than they were the last time I was up here. Another fish. Itty bitty one. And it's not even a, yeah, it's crappie. Just a itty bitty little feller. Can I have my mule bait back? That one kind of hit like a little yellow bass or something. Scrappy, crappie. Anyway, I guess I could tell you what I'm using. Just got a little 1/32 ounce Big T Slasher sickle head with a Mule Fishing 2.2 minnow, chartreuse with a little loop knot, 6-pound fluorocarbon to 10-pound braid, which is for crappie fishing a little bit more than enough, but I use this for bass too. But this is the 6-cent stash stick. I'm probably going to swap it down to 8-pound braid before too long. Thought I felt a little tap right off the bat, and I did, but it was a stick. And there goes something. Did I at least get my leader back? That's a good sized crappie. I thought I just ran into a stump that's out there, but apparently tweren't a stump. Chill. You are not a legal size fish. Well, you might be 9 or 10. Pretty fish either way. Skidoosh. That's fish. That one's a little bit nicer too. He got wrapped around a little stump that's down there, and I thought I'd lost him, but apparently not. Whew. Chill, man. That one's a little bit nicer than the first bigger one that we got. Oh, that's a little bit of a belly flop. I'm gonna take a minor time out just to check Instagram real quick. That ain't Instagram, that's Facebook. And I'm not by any means particular to any one brand. Like, I've got like 4 different brands of jig heads in here. I've just got them all in a little 1/32 ounce box. But yeah, these Big T Slasher heads are actually pretty dang good heads for panfish, but they are weak. The wire is like, it's not a thin wire, but it's a weak wire. They bend out pretty easily. I'm honestly kind of surprised neither one of these tubs of Berkeley Gulp have leaked. One or the other is usually dang near pouring by the time I get down to where I'm fishing. I don't understand the deal with Berkeley Gulp. Like, You can get 3 different bottles, and one of them will leak like a sieve, and the other 2 won't do anything. Oh, what? Oh, it's a little crappie. I was actually reeling that one up to cast somewhere else, and that one just he neeked up on it. Not sneak up, but neeked up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You can tell a crappie by its dorsal spines, whether it's a black crappie or white crappie. White crappie usually have 4 to 6 dorsal spines plus the vertical bars. Black crappie usually have 6 to 8, and their color patterns are more blotchy. Hey, I actually got a fish, and not somebody else's line. Massive. I'm talking world record right here. Biggins. Way only after the biggest of the crappies. And I'm after a day where it's not so friggin' windy. That one's a little bit scrappier. Itty bitty one. You know, I like my little bitty crappies just as much as you know, anything else that I have the luxury of catching. But it would be nice to have, you know, a few more of y'all's bigger brethren start moving in and biting my baits. You know, I would not be opposed to, you know, a 12, 13, 14 inch crappie. I definitely wouldn't be opposed to having a couple of those make my stringer a little bit heavier. But yeah, we're just taking these little Berkeley gulps and fishing them like I would anything else. Just casting it out there, doing a slow, steady retrieve with a little bit of a twitch. And if something feels kind of suspicious, I'll stop doing the twitch and see if there's something just pulling back. And sometimes I'll just do a slow, steady retrieve, because sometimes the crappie don't want that little twitch. They want a more natural presentation of just straight movement. Dang it. I like how sneaky these little ones are, I'm not gonna lie. They just come up and they're like, yeah, it's mine now. But yeah, I have had a few crappie in some previous videos, which if I can find them, I'll like steal some of the clips, or at least link the video in the description, where the crappie has dang near ripped the rod out of my hand from hitting so hard. And that is definitely on some of the bigger ones, like 13, 14 inch ones. Hey, I actually caught something. It's been a minute. Chill. This big old Mac Daddy freak nasty slab. I promise, there are bigger crappie than this in here. Freedom bird, America. There's a lot of bald eagles up here, and it never gets old seeing them. Oh, that was a good hit on one. I honestly thought it snagged. You gotta be kidding me. Thought I'd ran into that stinking line over there that somebody broke off, but the hardest hit of the day come from this little micro crappie. They're aggressive. I mean, they're scrappy. Hey, we got another big one. We're going after the bigs. We only catch the biggest of the big on this channel. Oh, heck, I've got a fish on. He was like, you know what, I'm just looking for a free ride. Because I was just pulling that fish along, didn't even know it was there. Anyway, minor belly flop, apologies. Anyway, I'm just going to give it a few more minutes and probably head back. That's a fish. Every single one of these little bitty ones, these little bitty tiny ones like this, gave that first impression that it's a big one. Like they just sit there. Like you set the hook on them and it just does not move. Oh well. Beats not catching crappie. You hit that one going 100 mile an hour. 100 mile an hour. Well, they all being itty bitty crappies today, but we're catching crappies. And that's all that matters. Even though I would like to catch at least, 2, 3, 4 of them just to get a catch and cook video in. This one feels a little bit better, but not by much. Hey now, don't be spanking my hand like that. I ended up having to retie, which was because of a snag, so what's new there, but also wasn't getting as many hits on the Berkeley gulp. So I was like, maybe the scent's just kind of washed off of them. So sure enough, put a new one back on there, and we got one in Mac Daddy Freak Nasties. See, these little ones, they like to pretend that they're the big ones. And I'm going to have my pliers for you because you got it a little bit down. Alright, Mr. Crappie. There we go. That was kind of down in his gills. Wasn't hooked in the gills, but... Oop, my rod. Wasn't actually hooked in the gills, but it was enough that I had to be very delicate. Alright, we're going to give her just a few more minutes. And I know I've said that probably a dozen times by now. But yeah, another one. Biggins, telling y'all. And this wind has started picking up, and it's making it that much more freaking aggravating. Hey, we actually got a fish. This one actually feels a little different. And it's the same size as the rest of them. You know, after this video here, I'm totally okay with y'all thinking that I'm full of shit. There are bigger crappie in here. There are. I just hadn't found them yet. But like I've said before, you know, the bigger crappie, I usually don't start seeing them in here till later in the year. And there's another one. What am I supposed to do with you? The size of these fish is going the wrong way. You know, I guess what I ought to do is fish that side sometime. But, you know, it's kind of hard to leave fish to find fish. But one thing is for sure, we ain't far off from this being low enough and that bank being dry enough that I can walk all the way down to that bend in the creek, because I haven't fished it, but I know there's some good spots down there from talking to people that have gone down there. Oh, that one's still on there. There we go. He just got wrapped around that stall that's down there. Well, we caught one. I am apologizing for that glare right there. I cannot get away from it. I figured coming to this side of the bridge would help with it a little bit, but apparently not. Go up here, maybe get that pillar. Nope, didn't help any at all. Oh, it's a fish. I thought I was snagged in that freaking line that's over there again. Oh, almost forgot to get one in pictures. Oh, belly flop. Well, since that is the last fish of the day, I am calling it on that, because for one, belly flop. Two, I would have given myself a timeout for that belly flop anyway. Anyway, let's get this off here. If you've never used Berkeley gulps, always take them off your hook at the end of the trip, because those things get hard as a stinking rock. And you have to take something that can cut, like pliers or a knife or something like that, and cut them off your hook. Well, YouTube didn't accomplish my goal of catching some to eat, but we caught the snot out of crappie, and that is really all that matters. I have no idea how many we caught, but it was on up there. It was a good numbers day for sure. I would think that by now I would have like overfished this. Well, that's all the other people that have fished this, but it doesn't seem to be hurting them. Like I said, this creek is really weird with when the fish start moving in. They probably usually start, like I said, into September, and the bigger ones usually start moving in later in the year when it gets colder. And you know, as the water level drops and gets colder, they're going to get more condensed into these areas, which, unlike some of the other spots that I fish for crappie and whatnot, this has a stream that goes all the way out to the river, even during the dead of winter at Winter Pool. So these crappie and whatever else can just come and go as they please. But anyway, we caught fish, and that's all that matters. I had a whole heck of a lot of fun making this video, even if all the crappie were like that big. And I hope y'all had fun watching it. Thanks for watching.